Imagine being strapped to a table while military doctors inject you with a deadly disease. No anesthesia, no consent, no chance of survival. This is not a scene from a horror film. It happened. It was part of Unit 731, Imperial Japan's covert biological warfare program during World War II. For nearly a decade, this secret facility in occupied China carried out some of the most disturbing human experiments in recorded history. For decades, almost no one spoke about it. But the silence was not because people didn't know. It was because powerful governments chose to bury the evidence. And what may be even more disturbing, the legacy of Unit 731 didn't end in 1945. From Cold War military programs to the ethical rules that now govern medical research, echoes of this dark history remain with us today. In this video, we'll explore what really happened inside Unit 731, how many perpetrators avoided justice, and the haunting question, should knowledge born from such crimes ever be used? Warning: this episode contains descriptions of graphic medical experiments and death. Viewer discretion advised. Welcome to Sealed Secrets. Tonight, we open the files they tried to bury forever. In 1936, deep inside the Japanese-controlled puppet state of Manchukuo, Imperial Japan built what appeared to be a normal military compound. Officially, it was called the Epidemic Prevention and Water Purification Department of the Kwantung Army. The name sounded harmless. In reality, it was Unit 731, a massive complex dedicated to biological warfare. Its true method? Human experimentation. Victims, euphemistically referred to as logs by the staff, were primarily Chinese civilians. But they also included Koreans, Mongolians, Russians, and even captured Allied prisoners of war. Inside, researchers carried out experiments that defy belief. Subjects were deliberately infected with plague, cholera, anthrax, and typhus to observe the course of disease. Prisoners were vivisected, organs removed while still alive, to study infection in real time. People were exposed to extreme cold until frostbite destroyed their limbs, which were sometimes amputated and replaced with crude grafts. Victims were subjected to chemical weapons, gas chambers, and decompression chambers to test survival limits. This was not random cruelty. It was organized, state-sponsored research, carried out with military oversight. And when the war ended, the unit wasn't remembered for its brutality. It was deliberately covered up. Before we continue, a quick note. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers this year. If you want more deep dives into hidden history, please subscribe. It really helps keep this research going. When Japan surrendered in 1945, many expected trials for Unit 731, similar to the Nuremberg proceedings against Nazi doctors. That did not happen. Instead, American occupation authorities quietly struck a deal. In exchange for Unit 731's research data, which U.S. officials believed might be useful for biological warfare or Cold War planning, most of the scientists were granted full immunity. This meant that men who froze prisoners to death, who infected them with plague, and who dissected them alive, never faced prosecution. General Shiro Ishii, the commander of Unit 731, lived out his later years quietly in Japan. He died of throat cancer in 1959, never standing trial. Other doctors and officers went on to hold university positions, work in hospitals, or move into corporate roles. The official justification was that the data was too valuable to destroy. But critics argue it set a dangerous precedent, that war crimes could be forgiven if they produced useful knowledge. The Soviet Union did conduct trials of some captured Japanese personnel in Khabarovsk in 1949, exposing details of the experiments. But in the West, the subject was largely suppressed for decades. To this day, Japan's government has never fully acknowledged the scale of Unit 731's crimes. School textbooks often mention it only briefly, if at all. The truth wasn't lost because it was forgotten. It was silenced because it was inconvenient. Before World War II, there were virtually no formal protections for human subjects in scientific experiments. Consent was not required. Oversight was minimal. The atrocities of Unit 731, along with Nazi medical crimes, forced a global reckoning. In the aftermath, the Nuremberg Code was written, the first international set of principles requiring informed consent and limiting human experimentation. Later, the Declaration of Helsinki and national research laws expanded these protections. Today, every legitimate clinical trial must be approved by ethics boards, and every patient must consent after being fully informed of the risks. Ironically, the suffering inflicted in Unit 731 helped create the very safeguards that now exist to protect research participants. It's a cruel legacy. Ethical rules born from unimaginable violations of human dignity. Here is the most unsettling question. Should data obtained through torture ever be used? Some argue that the information gathered by Unit 731 on hypothermia, disease transmission, or chemical exposure could have medical or military value. They claim it provides knowledge impossible to reproduce ethically. But others argue that using this information validates the crimes and dishonors the victims. There is evidence that US biological warfare programs during the early Cold War drew on material from Unit 731. Historians have also suggested that some insights influenced disease modeling and survival research. Yet many experts doubt the reliability of the data itself. Records were incomplete, destroyed, or exaggerated. Experiments lacked controls and often produced unusable results. Still, suspicions linger. Some modern cold exposure protocols and epidemic studies have been alleged to trace back, at least indirectly, to Unit 731's work. The truth is uncertain. What is clear is that even debating the use of such data forces us to confront a moral line. Whether knowledge gained through suffering should ever serve as a tool for progress. The horrors of Unit 731 did not end with its closure. Biological weapons were also deployed in the field. Toward the end of the war, Japanese forces released plague-infected fleas, contaminated wells with cholera, and left behind caches of chemical and biological munitions across China. Decades later, remnants of these weapons have been unearthed. In the early 2000s, workers in China accidentally discovered buried chemical canisters, some still lethal. Residents in parts of Harbin, where Unit 731's main facility stood, have reported lingering environmental concerns. Although Japan has acknowledged some responsibility and assisted with cleanup efforts, many sites remain dangerous, and survivors continue to seek recognition. The land itself carries scars, reminders that the crimes of Unit 731 did not vanish in 1945, but left poisons that remain to this day. Ask many Japanese citizens about Unit 731, and they may say they know little or nothing. That is not accidental. For decades, Japanese government statements have been cautious, and school textbooks often mention the unit only in passing. Lawsuits from survivors seeking compensation have largely been dismissed by Japanese courts. Meanwhile, in China, where most atrocities occurred, survivors and descendants continue to fight for acknowledgement and memorials. Some former Unit 731 members even went on to successful post-war careers. One rose to the position of governor of Tokyo. The absence of national memorials and limited education about the subject reveal a deeper issue: historical amnesia. Facing the truth would mean confronting not just wartime crimes, but also decades of silence and complicity. Unlike Nazi doctors tried at Nuremberg, most of Unit 731's personnel avoided justice. The reason was not ignorance, it was negotiation. US authorities valued the research data and offered immunity in exchange. General Shiro Ishii, who orchestrated the program, lived comfortably until his death. Other scientists took respected positions in medicine, universities, and industry. There were no international tribunals, no prison sentences, not even public disgrace. This created a dangerous precedent. If knowledge is useful enough, crimes may be excused. International law was supposed to protect civilians from wartime atrocities, but in this case, political expediency prevailed. The final casualty of Unit 731 was justice itself. The debate continues. If information obtained through atrocities could save lives, should it ever be used? What if frostbite research from Unit 731 could improve survival for mountaineers? What if disease studies could help during a pandemic? Supporters argue that the victims already suffered, and ignoring the data wastes their pain. Critics respond that using the knowledge validates the crimes and makes us complicit. During the Cold War, both the US and the Soviet Union quietly examined the material. Today, scholars still debate whether aspects of medical or military research have indirect roots in Unit 731's findings. There is no easy answer, but the question forces us to confront the line between pragmatism and morality, and whether crossing it erodes our humanity. Unit 731 is not just a dark chapter in history. It is a mirror. It shows what happens when science serves power instead of humanity, when doctors become executioners, and when governments value secrets over justice. Tens of thousands died anonymously, their names lost, their stories silenced. Yet their suffering shaped global debates about ethics, war, and human rights. The legacy of Unit 731 forces us to ask, what is the true cost of knowledge? What lines should never be crossed, no matter the outcome? And how do we honor those who suffered when justice was denied? In our own time, with rapid advances in AI, biotechnology, and surveillance, the lesson is urgent. Just because something can be done does not mean it should be done. If we forget Unit 731, we risk repeating its logic in new forms. This has been Sealed Secrets. If tonight's episode challenged what you thought you knew about history, subscribe and join us each week as we uncover the files they never wanted you to see. Because the truth is rarely where those in power want it to be.